Sharps.hooting Creighton blows out Georgetown at home. Unlike Georgetown's first two Big East losses, Saturday's 90-66 defeat to Creighton came with little consolation for the Hoyas. They didn't have a double-digit lead to lose in the second half at Capital One Arena, like they did against Butler, nor did they make it a close game with 2 minutes left, as they did at Marquette. Against the Bluejays, Georgetown was simply never competitive. Sharpshooting Creighton, which dropped out of the top 25 earlier this month after a close loss to then number 23 Seton Hall, started the afternoon with 4 consecutive three-pointers and took what they wanted from the Hoyas' defense after that. "When you have 5 guys who can shoot it, it's hard to guard," said Creighton coach Greg McDermott. "If you haven't played against a team like us before, it's not easy to defend. There's a reason we're averaging 90 points a game." Feinstein, "The ACC is worse without Maryland than the other way around." A win against experienced Creighton, 15-3, 3-1, was always going to be a mighty task for young Georgetown in Patrick Ewing's first year as coach, despite that the Bluejays entered Saturday with an 0-4 record in Washington. All 3 of Creighton's losses have come to ranked teams, and they own 2 wins over teams ranked when the Bluejays beat them, Northwestern and UCLA, both away from home. They have the highest scoring and most efficient offense in the Big East, averaging 90.2 points with a 51.5 shooting percentage. And against the Hoyas, that offense was clicking. Creighton spread Georgetown's defense out, making 16 three-pointers, then penetrated at will for 28 points in the paint with the Hoyas' best defenders caught far from the basket. Creighton moved fluidly and held on to the ball even when passes weren't as crisp as they should have been. In the first half, they had 16 assists on 17 made field goals. Ewing switched defenses and altered his lineup looking for answers to no avail. The Bluejays still ended shooting 48.5% from the floor and 44.4% from 3. The Hoyas, 11-4, 1-3, meanwhile, had 9 turnovers to 8 made field goals before intermission. Playing catch-up on defense kept the Hoyas from developing offensive rhythm for the rest of the afternoon, particularly with their top players struggling. "We just didn't do a good job of handling their threes. They were doing a good job of spreading us out and hitting the threes," Ewing said. Govan leads Hoyas over DePaul. Leading scorer Jesse Govan was held under double figures for the first time this season, finishing with 7 points on 3 for 7 shooting and a season-low 5 rebounds. He primarily guarded Toby Hagner while he was on the floor, who had 5 three-pointers to lead Creighton with 19 points. Govan's front-court partner, Marcus Erickson, had a season-low 4 points and 5 rebounds in the season-low 15 minutes, which Ewing said was because of rust. Ewing said Erickson was hit in the face during the Hoyas' previous game at DePaul and had not practiced the past 2 days. Govan and Erickson's struggles were part of why Ewing strongly refuted the notion that he would simply disregard Saturday as a tough loss against a hot team. Ewing was matter-of-fact throughout his post-game news conference. "We have to compete," Ewing said. "We have to do a better job of competing. They're one of the elite teams in the Big East, and games like this, you have to rise. You have to get up for the occasion. If we want to be one of those teams that is considered up there in the Big East, we have to step up and play better, especially our best players. Our best players got to step up and carry us." Sophomore guard Jigan Mosley was the only Hoyas player to score in double figures, with 11 points on 4 of 9 shooting. Freshman Jamorko Pickett added 9 points off 3 three-pointers, and Trey Dickerson had 9 as well. Caleb Johnson led the team with 10 rebounds. Perhaps the lone bright spot on the stat sheet for the Hoyas was that they out-rebounded Creighton 41-37. The Hoyas shot 36.5% from the floor and gave up 18 points off 15 turnovers. For Creighton, Davion Mintz supported Hagner with 17 points including 4 three-pointers, Kyrie Thomas had 15 points and Martin Crampell had 12 points. It was an onslaught. But for Ewing, it wasn't cause for panic. There's no need to panic. Creighton is one of the elite teams in the Big East. Just watch the film, see what we did wrong, what we did right, make changes, and start getting ready for St. John's, Ewing said. Georgetown plays the Red Storm on Tuesday at Madison Square Garden. Saturday's game had one silver lining. Ewing and Georgetown hosted Jordan Tucker, the former top 100 recruit and freshman from Duke who announced his transfer a few days ago. Tucker's grievance with the Blue Devils was that he didn't see enough playing time. Georgetown made an effective sales pitch Saturday. Against Creighton, Tucker saw plentiful opportunities for a mid-season transfer.